We see the no shield, down goes Hypno, it's now 2 shield Skunk versus the wild. Rails comes in, throws the crunch, this will be knocking out or drawing the final shield. The opponent shields up as they're at the move, but the Skunk wins charge move priority. Skuntank secures the knockout, back out comes Swampert. Can we survive the mud shots? Well, you're going to have to watch the video to find out. So welcome back to the home of Shadow Pokemon. Today we're back at it with that triple shadow madness. Huge shout out to Rails 101 for the awesome battle submission. We're going to be taking a look at 3 very powerful shadows, with the main feature Pokemon being Skuntank. If you're wondering why I'm going to say that's the main featured Pokemon, it's pre-evolution. Stunky is currently spawning in the wild, so it's a great chance to obtain a good one. Teammates today are going to be double legacy Shadow Walrus, who obviously needs no introduction, and channel favourite Focus Blast Shadow Hypno. And in game 1 we pick up the dreadful lead. Walrus into Medicham, the opponent safe switches the Bear Trap into our Hypno. And my god, if the opponent don't know about the Focus Blast, my god, are they about to find out. Rails charging up, no baits on this channel. The opponent shows no respect, and just like that, Hypno takes back switch. Hypno still not done. Gonna fire off the Ice Punch at this Medicham. The opponent commits a shield, and they are in absolute shambles. As with now, flip switch, we can align our Skunk with Medicham, and this is a fairly neutral matchup. Unless this Medicham, yes I do call it Medicham because our basic bitch Pokemon has Dynamic Punch, Skuntank has nothing to fear. The opponent fires off the Ice Punch, we tank the first. We're going to give shield parity back with the second. The opponent switches out into Noctowl, and high Noctowl, meet Walrus. Even after the Icicle Sphere nerf, Walrein super dominant in this matchup, we still outpace the super annoying Owl. Rails over farms, fires off the Icicle Sphere, does secure the knockout back out. Comes Medicham, or Metachan as I much like to call it, is going to get hit with the Icicle Sphere. The opponent shields it up, commits to the counter farm down. Skuntank comes in with 1 poison jab away from the charge move. Rails going to be flexing, we know we survived the Ice Punch. However, Mr. Opponent, you sir do not survive the crunch. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle we see the Dream Lead. This annoying Owl not going to appreciate the ice type damage from the Walrus. The opponent is staying in. Rails looks to CMP tie to a Shadow Ball. The opponent lets go of the Icicle Sphere and they near get one shot. Walrein not going to be getting one shot by anything the Owl can throw. They full send the Shadow Ball. Rails looking for the Powder Snow farm down, and we get it. We're now going to pivot into Hypno, banking all that energy. The opponent sent out Hitmontop and it's Piloswine in the back. The opponent then throws on alignment Trainer. That is not the play. So if using 2-turn versus 4-turn, you always want to throw out odd numbers. Rails farms up to the Focus Blast and he's going for the neutral Ice Punch. Ice Punch does draw the first Protect Shield. Hypno already at the second Ice Punch. Is the opponent willing to double shield? No, they're not. Piloswine gets the farm down and they leave with a move. Rails thinking what he wants to do. He's waiting out his timer. We send in Walrein. It looks like the opponent waited a turn to see what come in. They didn't fire a charge move as Piloswine certainly would be winning CMP. However, we're absolutely going to take that. It's now Skuntank versus Hitmontop. The opponent fires off a charge move. That certainly isn't the play. The only win con for the opponent, as we had 2 shields, was to counter farm down everything. However, they didn't do that and Skuntank puts in work cleaning up that game. Moving on to the next one. Oh, hello Altaria. The opponent is going to be instantly pivoting into Registeel, and we don't really have any great response. We are going to send out Hypno, and we're going to hope to land the Focus Blast. Hypno, pretty bulky even as a shadow. We tank the Zap Cannon. Rails farming up and going straight for it. Are we going to see Focus Blast number 2 land? The opponent shows no respect and again get one shot. Let's go. Back out comes Altaria and we're firing off the double super effective Ice Punch. The opponent also lets that go. Hypno absolutely stealing the show. We come into Walrein and the opponent's absolutely out of there. Moving on to the next one. And breathe, let's get back into the commentary. Walrus into Trevadent, a matchup that has been heavily affected by the Icicle Sphere nerf. The opponent attempted to catch an Icicle Sphere on Medicham and we answer with Hypno. Hypno, back in the early seasons, used to be such a great safe switch. However, now everyone's got XL Sableye, it's somewhat more risky. Medicham fires off 2 Ice Punches. Hypno tanks them both. Rails over farming, going to be firing off the Ice Punch. I really like this overfarm, as this should allow us to make an Ice Punch at the Trevadent. However, Medicham commits a shield, and that is not the play, as we've already got Ice Punch. Number 2, the opponent commits a shield and lose switch. Trevadent comes in, gets the farm down. We send out Skunk, and Skunk walls absolutely everything. However, let's be fair, that Shadow Ball did a lot of damage. Skuntank, however, can shield once. Poison jab farm all the way down, and we're going to leave a boatload of energy. The opponent gets farmed down. The final Pokemon is Lanturn, and Skuntank going to need to put in a whole heap of work. We go straight for Crunch. Number 1, do we get the debuff? Yes, we do. Skuntank now makes Crunch. Number 2, this will be forcing the final shield off the opponent. We then see the pivot into Walrein, Earthquake locked and loaded, and Walrein is a Lanturn counter confirmed. GG's, and thanks for playing. Looking at the lag, the opponent has force closed the app. You love to see it. Moving on to the next one. We see exact same lead. Let's see if the opponent again gives up switch. Trevadent actually pretty good in this matchup, as they do win. Charge move priority. This time we make the catch. Stay in school, kids. Learns a counter, takes 5 Shadow Claws to each Seed Bomb, and Skuntank tanks that really well. The opponent then sends out Lanturn. Skuntank makes the Crunch, and we've already seen that Crunch does a lot of neutral damage. The opponent lets it go. That was actually a charge move priority event. This could be a Thunderbolt. It is the Thunderbolt. That does secure the knockout. Rails just allows Skuntank to go down, and to be honest, I really like this play. We can come into Hypno, Confusion Farm all the way down, and then when Trevadent does return, we can start chucking Ice Punches at it. Lanturn fires off the Thunderbolt. Hypno shows its bulk back out, comes the Energy Drive Trevadent, and Hypno makes the Ice Punch. Ice Punch should be securing knockout from this range unless the opponent shields. They shield, they then Shadow Claw farm us all the way down. It's now 2 shield Walrus versus the while we shield up the Seed Bomb. We did hit a charge move priority, so this is going to secure the knockout or draw the final shield. The opponent lets it go, and it's a Bomber Snow in the back. This is going to be the bait game. The opponent needs to land the Energy Ball. So at the energy, do we call the bait? Do we shield? Huge call. We call the double resisted Weather Ball. Masturbating is a terrible habit. Rails not falling for that nonsense. A Bomber Snow commits the final shield. We're now over farming. Again, we've got 1 shield. No, we're calling another bait. The opponent baits again. Mr. Opponent, please stop masturbating. Every time you masturbate, a cat dies. And in this case, you, sir, are going to take a big fat loss. Walrein showing its absolute huge cojones clutching up this battle. You could see there the damage that Walrein did to a Bomber Snow. The opponent could have went just straight Energy Ball and won the battle. Why do people bait? Can anyone tell me down below? I don't know, I don't bait. And that opponent clearly needs to learn not to. In the next battle, we lead Walrein into Steelix. Speaking of not baiting, we're full sending the Earthquake. The opponent lets it go. We then snipe with Hypno. Big up today's featured battler, Rels 101. He is full sending the nukes, and it is coming in absolutely clutch. The opponent sends out Gramble into our Hypno. We fire off the Ice Punch. The opponent commits a shield. Hypno again, so bulky, makes Ice Punch. Number 2, Hypno again wins switch and gets a shield advantage. To my absolute surprise, the opponent's got Obstagoon in the back. Why the heck wouldn't you send Obstagoon into Hypno? I think that's just going to be one of life's mysteries. Skuntank comes in, farms up. We're calling that this isn't a cross chop. The opponent does send the cross chop, and ouch, that does a lot of damage. Rails now needs to start shielding. As we're so low, the opponent could just go straight Night Slash. They actually went for a cross chop. Rails now, for the first time, going for the bait, and he secures the bait. We're then going to fire off the second Crunch. I think we could have made the Flamethrower. However, Crunch still does huge damage. 1 Powder Snow takes them out. Nicely done. That resisted Crunch actually a lot more than I was expecting to Obstagoon. Skunk hit so hard. Great lead in the next battle. Walrein into Dragonair. We now see the Hypno Mirror. This is definitely the bait game. We respect the potential Shadow Ball, and the opponent baits us with a Thunder Punch. Rails farms up to his own Shadow Ball. So this is what I like to call fake it till you make it. He threw the 5th Confusion and managed to force himself a shield. Hypno now going to start firing off Ice Punches. The opposing Hypno knew that was just an Elemental Punch. They tank it. This is also an Elemental Punch. We tank that. Is Shadow versus regular. We actually win charge move priority. So again, Hypno, I don't think this is actually going to knock out the opponent. Lets it go. We are going to get taken out by the next Elemental Punch. We're actually choosing to shield, looking to maintain alignment. We now get the Confusion farm down. Hypno super low. What the heck is that? It looks like a shaman running some kind of hidden power. Hidden power always has the same animations. I've got no idea what hidden power this is. The opponent didn't shield the ice punch. They near get one shot. We look to snipe with our skunk. The opponent then sends back out Dragonair, switch locking it. Against our Walrein, we fire off the icicle sphere, drawing the final protect shield. Unless there's a dragon pulse, we are going to survive. The opponent goes for the dragon pulse. What the heck? That one definitely caught me off guard. However, Skuntank comes in, makes the crunch. Crunch will be securing the knockout. Shaman, super low. Skuntank jabs down, and we take that game. In the next battle, we see the battle of the water types. This Politoed needs to be a legacy Earthquake Politoed to do any meaningful damage again. Rel shows great knowledge of the counts, catching a potential Earthquake on Hypno. However, the opponent masturbates us with the Weather Ball, but the bulky Hypno does survive. The opponent then sends out a Charm, Alolan Ninetales. Rel's completely sacks Hypno. If I'm honest, we're looking a bit of a tricky spot here. Rel's waiting out his timer, sends in Skuntank, looking for the aggressive Poison Jab farm down. We do get it, but at a cost of around 60% of our HP. The opponent's final Pokemon is Gliscor. Yikes. We fire off the Crunch. Crunch goes unshielded. We then look to combo play into the Walrein. Looking for the snipe, I imagine the opponent saves 2 shields for the Toad. They actually don't. They shield it up on Walrein already at the second Icicle Sphere. The opponent then makes a savage catch, catching it on Politoed. Is this one now the Earthquake? Again, Rel's looking to call the bait, and again the opponent masturbates. It looks like now they're committing to going straight Weather Ball. Rel still not shielding. We're getting super low. We're now over farming and going for our own bait. However, we lose CMP. Rel's finally commits a shield. Do we get the final shield off the opponent here? Is Rel's the best masturbator I've ever seen? Yes, he is. The opponent looks to snipe. Rel sees it coming. We catch the Night Slash on our Skuntank. Night Slash doesn't KO. We've got the Crunch locked and loaded, and we're going to pull off an incredible victory. The opponent is going to mudshot farm us all the way down. However, we've got the Earthquake locked and loaded. Why are we throwing the Weather Ball? No! The opponent does top left. To be honest, they're probably pretty close to Weather Ball range, but I think it's a lot safer just to throw the Earthquake. In the next battle, we see someone making use of the Community Day Togekiss. However, Walrein absolutely feasting. As we do heavily outpace this stupid Charmer, the opponent commits the shield. Rel's just going to completely sack the Walrus Ancient Power. Takes us out. We come into Skuntank, looking to get ahead in energy. We do manage to jab down the opponent. Sends out Swampert. Again, we look to make the catch. Rel's is counting. Super impressive throughout this showcase. Hypno tanks the Hydro Cannon really well, and it's the Kentucky Fried Chicken Bird of Death in the back. Rel's fires off the Ice Punch. However, we lose CMP. Flame Charge takes us out. We're putting all our faith, hopes and dreams on the back of Skunk. We come in, fire off the Crunch. Crunch will be securing the knockout or forcing the final shield. The opponent shields it up. Skuntank wins CMP. This will be securing the knockout. Can we survive the mud shots to take care of Swampert? The opponent needs to mud shot down for some strange reason. They throw a move, giving us a free poison jab. That allows Skuntank to easily make the Crunch, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. So in that situation, as we had 2 shields, the win con for the opponent would have been the fast move beatdown. Huge shout out to Rel's 101 for the incredible showcase. I really liked his no baiting style, landing them huge booms. I think Hypno still has some fantastic play, especially on Focus Blast. I've showcased various teams of it, and my god is it fun. Like I said in the intro, Stunky is spawning in the wild. So make sure you go get yourself one for the Great League and get some XLs. He's an absolute monster in the Ultra League as well. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, link to our battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching. And I'll see you all in the next one.